Hi everyone! Today I'm going to show you how to repaint a BJD doll head. I got this mermaid doll from KikaGoods.com. Remember, you can get 10% off with my promo code. I wanted to tint the hair slightly more green, so I used a mix of loose powder pigment and chalk pastel. Just don't spill half of it out like I did. This ended up being a lot more messy than I thought, and next time I'll do a better job of tapping the brush before I apply the pigment. You can see the hair that I tinted looks more green than the original hair. Now to tint the other half of the hair, I used a watercolor pencil to lightly sketch the eye shape. You can erase with an eraser. I always put on the hair to check how the eyes look before moving on. Now I add blush to the face with chalk pastels. I usually blend a few colors to get the exact shade that I want. Now we can start adding colors to the eyes using thin layers of paint. I usually start with the whites of the eyes. Here's what it looks like after applying the white and blue base color. Now I use acrylic paint to draw the eyeliner. Use colored pencil to define the bottom of the eyeliner and add some shading to the irises. I usually use a blue color to shade the top of the whites. This adds dimension to the eyeball while keeping the colors bright. Draw the ends of the eyeliner with a watercolor pencil. I used a pink watercolor pencil to add some shading around the eyes. Adding more details with acrylic paint. I added some green to the center of the eyeliner to make the eyes look glowing. Checking in on how it looks with the hair on. Let's start the lips. Using thin layers of paint, I applied the peach lip color first. To get natural looking lips, slowly build up the color with thin layers. I wanted my doll to have an open mouth, so I used a dark brown color for the inside of the mouth. I added teeth, and this was actually the hardest part because it's so small. I added some more shading with watercolor pencils. I gave the eyeliner a darker brown outline to make it stand out more. Adding a lighter color on the eyelids helps the eye look more 3D. I forgot to blush the ears before, so I'm doing it now. Let's add some eyelashes with watercolor pencil. Now I have eyelashes on both eyes. I used pink again to shade above the eyelid line. It's very subtle, but this is going to make the eye look more 3D. I have a clay sculpting tool with a tiny ball on each end. I use this to add highlights on my eyes because you can get a very consistent circle shape. I'm adding some more light green to the eyes and eyeliner to give it a more glowy look. I decided to paint a light peach color to make it look like she has some fat underneath her eyes. I painted a thin layer of light green on the eyelashes to blend them in with the eyeliner a little bit more. I'm adding some bottom lashes with a white and brown watercolor pencil. We're almost done. Here I am adding freckles with a brown watercolor pencil. Just a bit more shading in the eyes and defining the freckles a little bit more. I used a light green watercolor pencil to draw in the eyebrows. Last step for the face. After sealing the face up with a clear matte spray, I add gloss to the eyes and lips. Because she's a mermaid and shows a lot of skin on her torso, I thought it was important to add blush to her body and her hands. You only need a tiny bit of blush on the body to make it look realistic. Here's my finished mermaid. I hope this tutorial helped you. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments. Remember, you can get 10% off KikaGoods.com with my promo code. Thanks for watching!